Okay, good night, everyone. Good night, and welcome to another episode of Wife Live. My name is Zemi Stewart. I am the founder of Wife Ministry and the host of Wife Live. And so, what Wife stands for is Wife Healed, Empowered, Restored. We are a group of women across all marital statuses who seek to become the optimal version of themselves, the women that God always intended for them to be. And so for the month of January, we are focused on entrepreneurship. And so we've been talking to various women, some wives, some not, some moms, some not, about their journey into entrepreneurship. And tonight is no other. We have the beautiful, amazing Gina Presley. Tonight we will be talking all things real estate. Specifically speaking about the career of real estate. In April, we'll be talking all about home ownership from the perspective of someone who wants to purchase a home. But tonight, we are talking about real estate from the perspective of wanting to enter into that field, enter into that career. And so I'll just read Gina's bio, who is our speaker tonight. Let me just grab that. Let me just say, okay, so Gina Presley is a native of the Bahamas. She now lives in Atlanta. She is an entrepreneur who formerly worked in the finance industry, but now she works as a real estate agent. She's also a notary public, serving the greater Atlanta area. And she is going to be coming on tonight to discuss her pivot into real estate. And so I'll bring her on right now.
Hey,
Hey,
you
Gina.
too. Hey, Zemi.
Okay, so we went through a list of questions, you and I, about what we wanted to discuss tonight. And I want to start with your pivot into real estate, your life before. Tell us a little bit about your family structure, and just your journey into the real estate profession itself.
Okay. So as Zemi mentioned, I'm also from the Bahamas. I have been in the US roughly about 10 years. I have lived all over the US, many cities, states, and now I'm currently in the Atlanta, Georgia area as a real estate agent, as a notary public. Before this, I was in the finance industry, management, fleet management, a little bit in healthcare, and now I'm a real estate agent. And honestly, I kept thinking about what I was going to say to introduce myself, and one
Mm-hmm.
thing stuck out, and it's real estate is something that I love. And for the first time in my life, I feel like this is the right thing, if that makes sense. I've
Wow,
worked
yeah.
many jobs, I have met amazing people from all around the world, but it never felt right until now.
Mm-hmm.
For the last, I would say, 6 years, I've been feeling like really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like there's been this void that maybe I should join
Mm-hmm.
like an organization, a club, something. I just felt like I didn't belong. And now for the first time in my life, I feel like I belong. So it's a
Because
really good
of real
feeling.
estate.
Yeah, because of real estate.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So what about your family structure? I know you have two boys. Um,
Yes.
and what are their
Yes.
ages?
So I am a wife. I'm a mom. I have two boys, ages 14 and 11. And I'm happy that they're getting up in age because now I can do me. But
Yeah.
most importantly, with real estate, I have a lot of flexibility. Real estate gives women, men, just a lot of flexibility on the whole, because what people don't know as an agent is you're not a full-time employee, you're a licensed contract worker, which means you're an entrepreneur. You have to have your own LLC to get paid. So you're basically your own boss under a broker that, manages, not so much manages, but helps you with your clients or whatever you need help with, and closings.
So
So
talking about that, if you're essentially a contract worker, do you have health
mhm.
insurance through the company or you have
No.
to,
So the
oh,
benefits
wow.
of real estate
Okay.
is flexibility and, of course, that money, girl. But
Commission.
people essentially make so much money in real estate. It's like you can provide for yourself, your own health insurance, and you don't really need a company health insurance. So, yeah.
Okay. But make sure you get it, guys, if you're going into this field because you're going to need that health insurance for sure, especially
Yeah.
the women.
Yeah.
Okay, so you talked about like why you transitioned. You didn't. why did you leave finance? Even finance, you get paid pretty well. You do pretty well there, but why did you leave finance?
I felt like I like numbers and everything, but that 9 to 5 desk job, just confined to a desk all day long, just didn't sit right with me. I love meeting people. I love helping people. I love networking, all that good stuff. But just being confined to a 9 to 5, no flexibility, no none of that stuff, just didn't
Mm-hmm.
sit right with me. And I remember I came across this video a few years ago from Tap, another Bahamian
Yeah.
socialite, entrepreneur, just it girl right now. And she basically said in her video, she's just given a story about how she was working in, let's say, some government office, and it just didn't feel right. She knew
Mm-hmm.
that she was a creative and she wanted to be out there on social media and do content and stuff like that. And when I saw that video, something just like pierced through my soul, because she basically said that she was a creative, and I did at the time I didn't know what a creative was. So
Mm-hmm.
since then to now I've been trying to bridge the gap of how to be a creative, how to be a people's person, how to help people, and it's finally all coming together with me trying to self-publish a book in a few months. Real estate has given me that flexibility to do that, and other ideas that I have. So finance was nice. I met a lot of amazing people, but just being confined to that desk just was not for me.
Yeah, and
So
with with being in a 9 to 5, like you could, because I'm a more like a results-based person, and
yeah.
so if I finish my work in 5 hours,
Mhm.
me having to dilly-dally for that 8 hours,
Mhm.
I mean, or find other things to do. So I understand, like, as a creative, it can be difficult, especially when I go back to the office, and I can only be siloed into
Yeah.
work. Right now, with us being work from home, I could like bounce around in my head all day and write notes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So that can be an issue for sure, and I'm happy that you found your
Yeah.
tribe in real estate. So
Mhm.
you worked as a on your let's talk about like getting started. So you
Okay.
have to form an LLC.
Yeah.
Were you a
So,
notary first? And let's talk about what a
yeah.
notary is exactly.
So, a licensed notary public is someone that is officiated by the government or the state or county, wherever you live in America, however they want to determine it. You basically can assist with anyone with power of attorney, will writing, notarizing any government documents, forms, applications, anything that requires, that notary public seal, stamp, signature. You do that for people. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. And that's a big part of being in real estate because during the closing
Hmm.
process, you can help to validate, etc. So I just want to
Yeah.
level set a little bit to kind of reset those who are joining. We're talking about transitioning into real estate as a career. My name is Zemi Stewart. We're speaking with Gina Presley. You can definitely drop comments, feedback, questions
Hmm.
in the chat. We can see it live. I can post it on. So don't be a stranger and please engage with us tonight. Okay, so you were notary first, and
Yeah.
that pairs well with real estate, like we said, in terms of the closing process, being able to authenticate documents. Everyone
Hmm.
who closes on a loan needs a notary. That's what I learned
Yeah.
because one of my projects this year was actually e-closings, helping our company
Okay.
to be able to do e-closings for mortgages, which turned out to be a huge uplift because of COVID. Some people didn't feel good doing going into the office to sign. And sometimes there were shuttle closings where the um the notary pulls up and they authenticate documents, but they need a notary all the time. A
Hmm.
notary is required. So even before you went into real estate, was that where you kind of started with being a notary?
So I became a licensed notary public in 2019, and I also went to real estate school in 2019. But I didn't
Oh,
really
okay.
pair the two because in the state of Georgia, even as a notary, you can't close. You have to have an
Oh,
attorney. So in the state of Georgia,
okay.
there has to be a lawyer present at the closing table. You can't. Notary publics just, they ain't gonna cut it. So you have to have an
That's
attorney.
interesting. And even that, like, there are different requirements across states.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you are a real estate agent in Florida, it's not necessarily the same thing as what Gina is saying. So it's obviously that's why you have to get licensed wherever state
Yeah.
you're working in. So there are
Mm.
cross differences there. Okay, so we talked about you being a notary. You said that you were a real estate agent, but you're also a realtor. Is there a difference?
Okay, so there's no difference. A real estate agent and a
Okay.
realtor, like with the trademark art, is basically the same thing. when you have people have that realtor in there, it just means that you're a part of the National Association of Realtors, which is like an elite group of real estate agents that have meetings and to just socialize. It's just very beneficial and very pricey, but it's good. You pay like a yearly fee. It depends on when you join. It can be from $500 to like $200, but it's very, very beneficial. They provide classes for you because as an agent, you have to do continuing education classes every
Mm-hmm.
year. So they provide classes, they provide contracts, they provide just a network of people. So it's very beneficial being a part of that. So yeah.
And credibility, I think. So as
Yes,
someone, yeah,
yes.
exactly. Because we had an issue in the Bahamas with a fraud case with this person who was trying to pass himself off as a real estate professional, a real estate
Oh
agent.
no.
But he actually wasn't, and some people were frauded out of a ton of money, because he was
Wow.
parading around as a real estate professional. But, having that TM behind your name says that I stand up next to
Yeah.
a code of ethics, so you can trust me,
Yes,
so to
yes.
speak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so when people are looking for a realtor, what should they be looking for?
Well, if it really depends as a home buyer or a seller, I think it really depends on who you want to work with in terms of like their personality, what they can do for you, their experience, their knowledge. So a lot of people look for different things. There are a lot of people like in this area. I've been told that Asians only want to work with Asians. So
Mm.
like it depends on where you're from, your ethnicity, just what you bring to the table.
So
People
what
like
kind
to
of things
shop around. So
if you want to be a real estate agent, what are the pros, like in terms of personality traits? What type of traits would make me fit to be a good real estate agent?
you definitely have to have that passion for communicating with people. You can't be shy. I mean, from day one of my real estate classes, my instructor was like, "Any shy people in here?" Everyone looking
Get
around,
outside.
people raise their hand. He was like, "You're not gonna make it." Like he was so real. He was like, "You ain't gonna cut it. You have to break out that shell. You have to get out there. If we throw you in a room with 10,000 people, you're gonna have to talk to people. Your
Hmm.
personality is what sells you as an agent. You have to know how to talk to people. You can't be shy. Unfortunately, there are a lot of shy people out there, but you just can't be shy. So
You have to be salesy.
kind of,
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
And when you say that, what do you mean?
So, when you're in sales, you really have to push a product or service. As a real estate agent, the good thing is people are coming to you, for services versus you're pushing something on them.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
coming
that's
to
a big
you.
difference.
So,
Yeah, they
yeah.
need you first, but
Yeah. So
you
you ain't
still
like,
have to
hey,
push the
buy this
sale.
product.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
worked when I was in college. I worked in a jewelry store kiosk, and I hated it because I had to push the sale, and sometimes I had to lie. Like this guy came in there, and he was like, "Oh, I just started dating this girl. We're meeting for the first time, and I want to buy her some jewelry." I was thinking to myself, "You're gonna look crazy, just showing up with, and she don't even know you like that." And so
Hmm.
all on my face was like,
Yeah.
And then I remember feeling like I want to be wanted as a salesperson right now. I need you more than you need me. And I'm liking that
Yeah.
what you're saying about real estate is like you need me, you need my
Yeah.
services,
Yep.
but I
Hmm.
still have to be salesy in a sense to
Yeah.
get follow through. So that's great. So anybody who's like me who hates to be salesy, at least it seems like you may be off to a good start. Okay, so what's the average day look like as a real estate agent?
It just depends on you. And I literally just had this conversation on Tuesday when I was in the office with a few other agents. And I was asking, I was like, I don't want to get in y'all business, but what do y'all do every day? And like a lot of people was like, I get up and I do my affirmations and I pray. I was like, okay, after that. But it just depends because a lot of people, real estate now is not only like their only job. They do work other jobs. But for people like me, where I'm an entrepreneur, I do the notary stuff and my other little stuff on the side and just focus mainly on real estate, you basically choose like what you want to do. Like some people decide to do consultations, let's say from 9 to 11. So that's where they open up their email, their inbox for anyone that, emailed the day before trying to consult about selling or buying their home. So they do that for like 2 hours, 3 hours. And then there's
Hmm.
cold calling. You decide if you want to actually go out there and network door to door, cold call. So it's literally up to you. You are
How
running your
it
own
looks like
business.
control your day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see this
Yeah.
comment here from J Family. He says, persuasive, I think it should be image. You have a product that you want to
Yeah.
sell.
Yeah.
And then Alistair says, an outgoing personality, definitely is needed, and probably the
Mm-hmm.
passion to go the extra mile to secure the sale.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes.
Thank you for those comments. Keep them coming. Okay, so we talked about this and how you had to make your page public, your Instagram page
Oh
public,
my God. Oh
after
my God.
over a decade
Oh
of
Jesus.
having a private Instagram page, and that was
Yeah.
because of real estate. So talk
Yeah.
about the importance of social media in terms of pushing this career and, like using social media to kind of extend your reach.
Again, it really depends on you as an agent and the how you want to reach people. There are
Mm-hmm.
some very successful real estate agents in my office that are like, I don't like Instagram, I don't like Facebook, I don't really do the social media thing, but
Yeah.
they will go door to door. They will cold call until they can't call anymore. But a lot of the younger agents in my office that are, I mean, closing like $1 million homes every month, they are on social media like promoting. They have that audience, they have that personality out there. And for me, my struggle is you can literally take me and throw me in a room of 10,000 people and I will talk to
Mm-hmm.
everyone. I will laugh, engage, tell everyone, I'm a real estate agent, just sell myself and my personality. But social
Yeah.
media, I'm like, yikes, I'm scared. I feel
Yeah.
like all the criticism is gonna come. But girl, my broker around me, like Tuesday, he was like, Gina, you got to stop this. In the office, you are social, you got your personality, like clients need to see that. So he's been nagging me. He's like, you need to make videos. I mean, there are realtors on TikTok. If that's not your thing, do reels on Instagram.
Yeah.
Make those
Mm-hmm.
videos. People need to see your person. Like, what is in front of me is not on social media. And I'm like, ugh. So that's my struggle, and that's like my next step to engage, with clients. But yeah, the first step
And you
was going
started that
public.
you have some photo shoots planned to
Yep,
get some more
yep,
content. You just did a photo
yeah.
shoot. That's
Mhm,
the thumbnail for this video in terms of
mhm.
getting yourself out there. And so, what other tips can you give them in terms of getting started in the field of real estate?
You just honestly have to, like I said, have that personality. You can't be shy. You have to have that passion for wanting to help people, which is my greatest passion in life. And that's the number one reason why I got into real estate. Besides having a personality and loving to engage and meet people, is helping people. Like, I get that tingle in my heart when I can help somebody. So if you are that type of person that love to help people, you want to help veterans, you want to help first-time home owners, you want to help investors, build that generational wealth, definitely real estate is something you should look into. It's not hard to pursue real estate. I've heard people ask me, oh yeah, I heard there's a 1 week course you can do. I'm like, 1 week? No, it's not 1 week. I
Mm-hmm.
actually did the, what do they call it, fast track. It was like a really hardcore extensive 2 week course,
Mm-hmm.
and it literally tore me open. Like on day 3, I called my mom. I was like, I can't do this. This is crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're in class from 8 a.m. to like 5, and you're going all day, and it's like so much information. It's like, I don't want to compare real estate with law, but in communicating with other realtors in my office, they're like, damn, the school was just like law school. You have so many legal terms that you have to learn. It's like, why do I need to know this? But you have to know literally the law. You have to know code of ethics. You have to know literally everything there is
Especially
to
after
know.
the
So,
recession, that made it even more
yes.
difficult.
So
After
there's
the
a
recession in 2008, if you guys remember, that was with the housing
mhm.
bubble crash. And so
Yes.
the
Yep.
ethics in terms of real estate went through the roof.
And the amount
Like,
of
yeah.
laws and protocol that they
Hmm.
put in place now, because it was a
Yeah.
huge mortgage scandal. Now it's very, very hard to try to purchase a home. It's not hard in terms of financials and everything, because there are down payment assistance programs, but in terms of you and your identity and showing up as who you are
Oh,
and
yeah.
not trying to
Hmm.
commit fraud, it's hard for you to do. so
Yeah,
so yeah.
definitely. Okay, so
Yeah.
walk us through like the feeling of showing a home. Do you become a second person when you in the real estate
um
hat, or do you get to like, showcase your own personality? What's your experience like when you're showing a home?
Okay, so I'm a new agent and I am about to start showing homes. So I've seen videos, I've seen other people do it, but with me, with everything, you have to put your personality into it. People show homes differently. Some people, when you walk in, they give you a brochure, they let you go do your own thing, look at the
Mm-hmm,
brochure,
mm-hmm.
look at the house. I plan to be more hands on. I plan to have my brochures made up about the home, about the information and everything. And I will also walk people through, engage, make them laugh, crack some jokes. Because at the end of the day, I want them to feel comfortable. Like, hey, I like this girl. She knows her business. She's cool. She's gonna make this transaction a little bit easier, or less stressful. So I want to just put my personality out there and my knowledge to make people feel comfortable with buying and selling with me, versus going to someone else where they're like, yeah, I think Zemi is better. Gina was a little bit dry. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anna says it's very important for rules and regulations in real estate.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
definitely. We
Yep.
want to keep customers safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So when you're new in the industry, but what
Mm-hmm.
about the process of finding a broker? What is that like?
Mm. So for me, before I chose my broker, I had two interviews and they were with huge companies. I mean, huge. But I didn't want to be just a number. I didn't want to get lost in the company like just another agent. I wanted to feel like I was a part of a family.
Mm-hmm.
And with this brokerage, I've been watching him for 2.5 years. And I love the way that all the agents are like a family. It's just very family oriented. He's very
Mm-hmm.
hands on. The mentorship is like through the roof. And I was like, you know what? I won't just be a number there. And remember, I told you I've been feeling, well, used to feel very lost in terms of I wanted
Yeah.
to feel a part of some type of organization. Girl, I was gonna go on Craigslist and join a softball team. That's how I was like, I need to be part of something. Like, hello. Thank God I didn't. Um, but when I interviewed with him, his core values, it's called Norman and Associates, and the
Mm-hmm.
core values there is family. So
Okay, that's important.
it feels so right. The other companies that I interviewed with felt like, yeah, are you good? One of the major companies in nationwide, but I just didn't get that feeling. And my broker he's had 20 years of experience in the game. He's up to now almost 200 agents. He just started his company about 3 years ago. And I'm proud to say, he has the top, largest
Mm,
Black owned, which is very
wow.
important for me,
Yeah.
minority brokerage in Atlanta.
Mhm.
So he has all the young agents that are like killing it. And that's why I decided, to go with him. So it's just based on your personality. If you want to go with the brokerage that's been around for ages, nationwide, top, whatever, you could do that. But if you want to feel like you're a part of something, I would say, fish around for different brokers, because as soon as you get that license, literally like 2 days later, mail from every broker in my area. We would love to
Wow.
have you. Set up a meeting with us. We'd love to have, like, every day. I was like, whoa, whoa. I was like, okay. But
Hmm.
just take on as many interviews as you can, see what feels right, and then just show up, just go. So,
Yeah, so if we can kind of recap that for people, when you're choosing your broker, for you, it sounds like family feel was
mm-hmm.
important, strong core values,
Yeah.
respectability, minority presence, etc. All
Mm-hmm.
those things were important to you. And similar to when you're choosing a university, like you have to
Yes.
make sure that it aligns with the things that you
Mm-hmm.
want. Some people just pick, any old school because it's
Yeah.
prestigious, but they don't drill down into class size, how well trained are the instructors, with how do they instruct
Yep.
you. And so same thing, you
Mm-hmm.
got to make sure this is your place of work. Like you can't just be
Yes.
taking any
Yes.
offer that comes out of the way. Like this is your place of work, this is your environment, this is your. And
Mm-hmm.
I just posted a video on the power of environment in terms of how we thrive and grow. And so you don't want to be in a
Mm-hmm.
toxic environment. You want to make sure that culturally it lines up. um
Exactly.
so even as a woman, I know that the stats have shifted where there are more women in real estate now. But what makes the career field so appealing to women?
With being a mother and trying to balance motherhood, whether you're married, whether you're a single mother, it's just the flexibility of being a real estate agent and being able to be more present for your kids, for your family is number one. And that's why, one of the number one reasons why I decided to go into real estate, because of the flexibility, which is key. It's like helping people, flexibility, moolah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what's the pay scale like in terms of like on in a general basis, a commission based only, or does your broker give you a rate? I mean, I guess you said you're on
Um,
contract, so
so every state is different. Every brokerage has a different commission rate. It's not a fixed rate, which is illegal. So with
Oh,
my
okay.
brokerage, I feel like the agents there, it's 75, 25, which is compared to the other interviews I had, like, whoa. But
75
it's
what?
much better.
75. What's that?
75%, 25, 25 for him, 75 for you, which is a part
Oh, okay.
your commission basically, you know.
Hmm.
Some brokerages are 6%, it can be 6.5, you know, it just depends on your agreement when you sign with them, what that is at that time. But it really depends because I've heard stories about some people within 3-4 months they sell a $1 million condo, and then some people are
Wow.
like, oh my god, I didn't have a sale for like 6 months. Me, I'm still trying to maneuver my way through there. I have some things lined up, some clients and stuff, so I'm just trying to figure it out within my first year. But you can make anywhere from 40,000 to $4 million, but that's kind of like a stretch, you know.
It
So
depends on how
it's
hard you
really
work, I
luck.
guess. Yeah.
It's really your work ethics, putting yourself out there. Marketing is key, and marketing is very expensive. I knew that I would have to, you know, set aside a little bit of money for marketing, but I had to triple that. Like, to put yourself out there just to get that sale, you have to spend a lot of money from photo shoots. And it's not just dressing up and trying to look pretty. You're trying to market yourself. Like you said, in our DM a few days ago, just in my element, you know, like my next
Hmm.
photo shoot I want to do in a neighborhood with houses, you know, and in some houses. I want to show people like that's my niche, that's my element. So you have to do photo shoots, you have to have your business cards, you have to have your door knockers, your labels, your fly. You just need to put yourself out there as best as possible, and it's
And that's
costly.
why they say
So
leverage social media because social media is free.
yeah,
Those
it's
reels,
free.
reels
Yes,
could get
yeah,
like thousands plus views, and you're so
yeah.
funny.
But the algorithm is so crazy though.
Reels
Because
do
it's
well
like
though.
since I opened my page up, I was showing my family last night. I'm like, how is this possible? I have like 30,000 impressions since I opened my page, but it's like
Wow.
no one's liking the stuff, no one's following. Like the algorithm is crazy because they only show your content to like 10% of your audience. I'm like, what do I have to do? You know, so
I think you should watch our last video with Thea
okay,
Saunders. She talked
okay.
about social media, hashtags,
Mm-hmm.
using your stories,
Mm-hmm.
reels, etc. So that was some good tips. She's on the line as well. She gave some
Okay.
really great tips on leveraging social media. That was our last video. To everyone watching as well, make sure when you finish this, you head over there. What about COVID and how COVID has impacted the industry? I know the stats are still going up and down. So are you actually going into homes? Are you doing, is your company doing virtual showings or
Yeah.
what kind of
So
precautions are they taking?
it depends on the seller. Some sellers right now are like, no, we don't want anyone in our home. So it literally depends on the seller. Some people only want virtual showings. Some people are like, yeah, come in, but they have like restrictions. You can't do this, can't do that, can't touch this, got to wear a face mask. So it really depends on the seller. And when you sign that listing agreement, they have to like just put what they want, like the do's and don'ts basically. So it just depends on the seller. And right now it's a seller's market, which means everyone is trying to sell and like purchase another home. So COVID has really reduced the amount of showings, and everything, I mean, all around the world, basically, not just in real estate, has gone to virtual. But for me, I haven't done any virtual showings. Like I said, this week, Tuesday, I'm starting like open houses and stuff like that. So I'll be more hands on and
Mm-hmm.
safe and cautious and have to,
Mm-hmm.
adhere to the seller and what they want, mask and hand sanitizer every 5 minutes. So yeah, it's basically just up to the seller. So yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so that was my list of questions. I don't know if anyone else has questions.
I can't see the questions, but I see like the chat with the number of stuff inside there, but I don't see anything.
Oh, one second, I'll pull it up. Okay, so let's go into tips for people who want to enter the industry. What are 5 tips for someone who wants to enter into real estate?
5 tips I would say is first figure out if you want to do like online learning or in class. I think right now with COVID, it's basically only online learning. I started online, but I really didn't like it because I felt like there was a lot of information to retain, which there is. So I decided to go in classroom, But I would say look around, look at reviews, and figure out which real estate school is best for you. Um, Sign up, take your classes. You have to be very, very, very focused, um, and study a lot. Find yourself some study partners. I do have, if anyone wants to reach out to me on my Instagram after this, it's Equity and Assets on Instagram. I do have a lot of files that helped me pass, because the state exam, honestly, I don't want to scare anyone off, but it is very, very, very hard. Um, yeah, it's hard, and you have to be really, really focused. So a lot of late night study nights. I do, like I said, I do have a lot of files where if you're in Georgia and you're trying to get your Georgia real estate license, I can shoot those over to you via email. They help me pass like a breeze. So stay focused, study, and then after you pass, really finding the right broker for you, because it's so easy to get lost in a company where you're like, oh, I'm going to make millions, I'm going to be so successful. But if you don't have the right mentor to take you to the next level, you're literally just going to be a little fish in a big pond. And that's the sad reality, you know. I think that everyone should want to do real estate, not just for money or thinking that you can get some type of financial gain, but you have to be a person that is very passionate about helping other people. You can't just go into any profession. You can't really go into it saying, you know what, I'm gonna become an actress, I'm gonna do real estate, I'm gonna become a doctor solely for money. You have to love what you do, love meeting people, love communicating with people, and love helping other people. So yeah. What else, and what other advice can I give? You have to be a people's person. You know, I don't mean to sound cruel, but if you are a very shy, in the shell, introverted person, it may be a little bit more difficult to really put yourself out there. Like for me, I'm an extrovert. However, I'm having difficulties. I'm like an introvert on social media, which is so crazy. I can go out, be my extroverted self, and chat it up with people. But when it comes to social media, I am very, very shy. So yeah. If you guys have any questions, you can drop them in the comments. I can't see the comments. Zemi can see the comments.
I do have a question here. Someone says,
Okay.
what about advice for venturing into real estate in the Bahamas? I assume
Okay.
it's similar in terms of you have to pass an examination, you need to
Yeah.
be with a broker, you need to, I
Yes, you
mean,
have to sign
yeah,
up for your classes, take pass your class exam. I don't know what the credits is in the Bahamas, but definitely sign up for classes, study, pass your class exam, then pass your state, or I don't know how it is in the Bahamas. But yeah,
I think
same
you
thing. Just
also
stay
have to be
focused.
under, you have to be under a
Yeah, a broker or
company.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't even in order for you to be able to take the classes, I think it's a little bit more complex here, where you have to be, aligned to someone before they allow you to go in and take the classes. But
yeah.
it's all online actually. I
Okay.
researched it before because Ian was interested in that. So, well,
Ooh. Okay.
definitely look there. And then I can also look for someone in the Bahamas to talk about real estate in the
Yeah.
Bahamas if you
I
guys are
do have a
interested.
few people, real estate agents on my Instagram from the Bahamas. So if you hit my Instagram, Equity and Assets, I can definitely link you guys. They're very good in their field, so they can become like a really good mentor. So definitely hit me up after this.
I guess that could be your fifth point, the power of mentorship.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
mentorship in the industry, not just your broker, but mentors, fellow agents in industry. I also have a question
Mhm.
here. If you were to move to another state, would you have to take the exam again, or does passing it in Georgia give you a head start in another state
Um,
and skip the
that
exam?
that's a really, really good question. So every state has different requirements. Real estate licenses can be reciprocal. I know a Georgia real estate license is reciprocal in a lot of states, like over 20 states. Some states you can just be an agent there, sign some paperwork. But with some states, you have to take their state test. Like for me,
Hmm.
my broker is expanding to Florida and Miami. He's in Alabama, he's in Georgia. Now he's going to expand to Miami. And when I looked into obtaining a real estate license in Miami, the Georgia license is actually reciprocal. And instead of taking the test is 152 questions in the state of Georgia. Instead of taking 152 questions, I would only take 50 questions in Florida, and then I'll have my license.
Okay.
I also looked into other faraway states that I love so much, like Nevada and Arizona, and it is not reciprocal there, which means I have to go
Mm.
there, enroll in school all over again, take that test, do the state. So it's like starting fresh, but it just depends on the state and their requirements and stuff like that. So yeah.
With the career, do you feel pressure to always have to be dolled up? Like when you're showing and stuff like that?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. It's all about image, unfortunately. You want people to feel comfortable with you, and especially in the area that I live in, image is everything. People
Yeah.
feel comfortable if you drive a certain car, if you wear designer, which is so dumb, but if you live in a certain area, your network, you dress a certain way, but yeah, image is kind of like everything in real estate, especially depending on the area where you live.
And being an entrepreneur, period. I know your boys are more grown now, but
Yeah.
you spend a lot of time with your kids. You spend a lot of time with your family. You spend a lot of time, like nurturing those key relationships. So how do you find balance or harmony in terms of launching a new career path, all the study hours, but making sure you're present for your kids
It's
and your
all
husband,
about,
obviously.
yeah, oh, right. Hey, hi. Yeah, it's all about, like you said, having a balance, and how your family or your household is set up. For me, my husband has a full-time job, so he's gone every day, all day, and I'm home basically trying to, procure clients and put myself out there, social media,
Hmm.
emails, responding to people that are trying to purchase by, prospective clients. So I do spend a lot of time with my kids, basically because of virtual school and all that stuff right now because of COVID.
Hmm.
But it is a very, let's see, real estate, especially as a woman and being married, it gives you a lot of time for your marriage and your children.
No,
So
that's good.
that's like,
That's good.
yeah, that's the best
Yeah.
thing about it, honestly.
So it's like you're a stay-at-home mom, but you are a boss mom. You get your call, you got to go show home,
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sure. Okay, this is probably your friend. I don't know if you can pronounce her name.
That's your Vinci, yeah.
She said she's so proud of you, your inspiration, and she prayed that you have the most success in your career path. Keep being a
Thank
leading
you,
lady.
Vinci.
That is
Love
awesome,
you.
incredible to show up for your friends.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about hubby. We talked about, launching into the career field. We talked about the picking your brokerage firm and finding, making sure they align with your values. We talked about the power of image, the
Mm-hmm.
study requirement. We pretty much covered all bases, I think, in terms of launching
Mm-hmm.
this career. It takes a lot of study. It takes you coming out of
Yes.
your shell. It takes you pushing yourself out
Yes.
there. And even for the introverted people in real life, I mean, extroverted
Yeah.
people in real life, you have to
Mm-hmm.
also be the same way on social media, which will be,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, Gina, we need to bring you on in a couple months to say, like, how's it going?
Right?
How has
Because
it
I'm
been?
getting sick of myself. Like being an introvert on social media, but an extrovert in the real world. Like I don't even understand how that works, but
I think once you get started,
mm-hmm.
you'll hit the ground running. Once you make your
Yeah.
first reel and you see that blow up,
Yes, that's what they've been saying in the office. They're like,
yeah.
we think you would do really good on reels. And I'm like, let me grab my son. Hey, how do I do a reel?
Even if you do a reel with
So
like recording your outfits, like real estate outfits, have your son
yeah,
record. They're easy to clip to, film,
yeah,
screen, and you have a reel. But
yeah.
you also get in the people who are in the industry and people who like, oh, she's pretty, she looks cute, she's launching a career. Let me work with her. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank
I don't know if
you.
there's any other gems you'd like to drop with our community in terms of like wifehood, balance, harmony, entrepreneurship, whatever it may be.
Um, I feel like for anyone that feels like they want to become an entrepreneur, definitely go for it. I'm in my 30s and I feel like if I had this mindset in my 20s, I would be a multi-millionaire by now. And
Hmm.
I just allowed fear, like being scared and just basically how I am now, but I'm kind of breaking up my shell, to just not swindle me, but cause me to just not accept or go for a lot of opportunities that I had in my face. And I was like, nah, I don't think I can. I don't think, like, I was just too afraid to do anything. And I would just tell anyone, male or female, any opportunities that feels right, go for it. If you start to become
Mm-hmm.
afraid, talk to family, talk to friends, talk to like-minded people. And I feel like that right there is number one as well, to have like-minded people in your space, in your
Yeah.
environment, because
Mm-hmm.
having friends, like I had some friends that were like, oh no, girl, that too, like, they didn't say, oh, that's too good for you, but they just like insinuated like, I don't think you'll be good at that. But the whole time I was good, I was good enough, but I
Yeah, you were
didn't think that I
perfectly fit for
was.
that. Yeah.
You gotta have people in your, like, in your space and in your camp that's gonna motivate you and push you, and yeah. So
Definitely some gems there, you guys. Just fight, combat that fear. You know that you can do it. If you want to do
yes,
it, just launch
girl,
out
just
there and
just
get
do
it
it,
done.
Yeah, there's a solution for every problem. Everything is figure outable. Where there's a will, there's a way. I know for me, a lot of it was like, money or just not believing in myself. So trust me, there is a way for everything. Even if you have $1,000 saved up, Google, what business can I start for $1,000? There's some business you
Hmm.
can start with $50. So
Yeah.
you just have to work your way up, and just don't be afraid. Don't be like me, because your girl could have been, Jeff Bezos with all the
Where the
ideas I
money
had, but I
reside.
just was too afraid. And right
Yeah.
now I'm like, no, this train has departed and I'm not stopping. So yeah.
And so this is what someone had to say, that Dad, she said, it's an honor
That's it.
watching and listening to you. So
Thank
obviously your
you.
tribe is here, your supporters are here, and they're
Thank
showing up for
you.
you. So I just want to thank everyone for joining. We do have another session coming up on Thursday. We
Yes.
speak to Shanice Johnson, who is the owner of Cutely Covered. You can look them up on Instagram, on
Mhm.
cutelycovered.com. She is a wife, she is a mom, and she is killing it in
She
the
is a
boutique game.
mogul and a beast. And she's from the
And she
Bahamas.
and she has real estate. She also is a real estate investor. And so we're
Mhm.
gonna hear all about her journey. And so before we leave tonight, I definitely want to pray for you, Gina, because you're launching into something
Yes.
new, and I can sense the fear, and we want to combat that as well. So, Heavenly Father, I thank you for just Gina's boldness and coming on tonight as someone who is fresh in the industry, but still wanting to be of service unto you, to still want to give information, to drop gems for so many others, oh God. And I thank you for her faith and her boldness of stepping into a new path, of stepping out and walking before you with a desire, not just to make money, not just to have freedom, not just to have flexibility, oh God, but also to help people and to change lives and to change stories. I pray that you will give her a boldness as she sets out on these social media streets, oh God. I pray that you will give her influence, that she beats this algorithm, oh God, and that her platform is seen far and wide, that you will bring people unto her, that she can help in an impactful way, not just giving them a home, not just giving them equity, not just giving them assets, not just giving them ownership, oh God, but giving them a testimony of stepping out in faith, a testimony of pushing through fear, a testimony of overcoming boundaries, a testimony of leaping out in faith. I thank you and I pray that your hand will cover her and her marriage and her kids as they transition throughout this COVID. Please continue to keep them safe. Please continue to bind them together with cords that cannot be broken. I thank you, dear Heavenly Father, for this time of togetherness, and may it all be well. May the seeds planted today spring forth and produce great fruit. Amen. Amen.
Amen, Zemi. Thank you. Thank you for that prayer. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm so grateful for my family and my friends right now. They make me feel so good about myself, which is like the best feeling in the world. And it lets you
I
know you're
mean, you
doing
have no
something
reason
right.
not to be, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, no
Yeah.
reason not to be because you're beautiful, you are intelligent, you are a people's person. And
Thank
so,
you.
just go forth and do this thing. Just do
Yeah.
this thing.
Mhm.
you know? But that is your information. I don't know if you have any other ways that people can get in contact with you.
So that is my Instagram. For those of you that are not on Instagram, my Facebook name is Gina Presley, and my email address, if you want to just shoot me an email, is like elephant Presley at normanliving.com. I am associated with Norman and Associates, which is the top minority owned brokerage in Atlanta. So feel free to send me an email. I do have a team of experts. If you are looking to buy, sell, invest, my team of experts can help you with credit, can help you with down payment assistance, and just get you on that track of purchasing, within your time frame. So yeah.
Awesome. Someone says you, Alistair says you,
That's
the
my
best, Gina.
brother.
Am I pronouncing his name right?
Yes, you got it.
Okay. You're the best, Gina. Keep on going for the top. I know you'll achieve everything you put your mind to.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Love you. Thank you.
And then Joy says, thank you both, ladies. Joy from the Wife Her Tribe. So thank you
Oh,
everyone for
thank
tuning
you,
in. I
Joy.
truly appreciate it. Again, this is Gina's contact information, epresley@normanliving.com. We are Wife Her Ministry. You can find us on Instagram at Wife Her Ministry, on Facebook at Wife Her Ministry, and we are wifeherministry.com. And so I would really appreciate it, guys, if you would share this broadcast, if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers in
Yes.
2021, because, one day I want to launch into full-time ministry and I want to make sure
Mhm.
that we can still execute at a high level. We can still bring in speakers, and still have all of that going on. So thank you so much for coming on tonight. God bless you. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank you for
watching.
having me. Thank you.
And we'll see you all here on Thursday. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.